Hey guys, how's it going? So this is going to be part 3 and the final part of this video series. All about having the wheels on my 30th anniversary Trans Am refinished. So as you can see, I still have the chrome wheels on it right now, and we are going to be putting these on tonight. So I think they came out really great, and you know, we'll get a final look at them once I get them all in the car here. But a few other things I'm going to do. First, the caliper in the front passenger side here. Last summer when I was trying to bleed the brakes, I was trying to loosen the bleeder screw, and I don't know if it was just corroded or what. It was just seized in there, and as I was like loosening it, trying to loosen it, it snapped off. So it wasn't leaking, obviously. It was just seized inside there. So ended up just getting a new caliper. It wasn't that expensive. Got it from Summit Equipment. So we're gonna put that on, and then I also got ceramic pads for the front. They're Akabonos, I believe. I think I got those on Tire Rack. So we're gonna do the front pads, the rear pads, and then we'll obviously put the caliper on first with the pads, and we'll bleed the brakes. Hopefully that doesn't take too long, and then we will get the wheels on and see how it looks. So stay tuned here, and I'll kind of speed up through some of the installation process. I don't think there's any real need to show you guys everything. There's plenty of videos out there for putting brake pads in. I'll show you a little bit of the caliper while I do that. That might be kind of interesting, but here we go. All right, so basically what we're gonna do here is first we gotta get the brake line here disconnected. So I'm just gonna put a little PB blaster right there, although it looks like it's corroded or seized in anyway, but just put a little bit there, let it sit for a minute. We'll get that off. All right guys, so I used a 13 millimeter, you can see that here, 13 millimeter, and I use my 1/2 inch socket with a 3/8 adapter. Yeah, 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Get a little more torque on it. And got the brake line off, so I got it up there out of the way right now. This is where it was connected. A little bit of fluid was coming out. Actually didn't look too bad. And now, to get the caliper off, it's just these 2 bolts here. And for those guys, I don't know where I put it. Here we go. We're gonna use a 18 millimeter to get those off. All right guys, so we got the caliper off, the old one. As you can see, it's just the rotor. And this, I'm pretty sure these are the factory OEM rotors, but they look really good. I'm gonna measure them, just to measure the width of them, but I mean, they look like they're in really good shape. Here is the old caliper here. You know, the pad's actually, let's see, the pad life isn't terrible. But I think it's gonna stop a lot nicer with the new pads and obviously the new caliper. So we're done with this guy. We're gonna go ahead and get the new one bolted up. All right, so we got the brake pads in, the new caliper. Obviously put the shims in there too. Don't forget about that. That's what those look like. They come with your, when you get new brake pads, they come with them. The caliper actually had a set. And the I just scuffed up the old rotor a little bit with some, let's see what this is, 120 grit sandpaper. Scuffed it up, cleaned a little bit, front and back, and we're ready to go. So the one thing you guys don't want to forget about is the copper fitting or washer. Make sure you get that on there before you put your bleeder screw back in here. Otherwise it's going to leak. Something else I didn't mention, guys, the banjo bolt, that's what it's actually called here. You want to torque that to, this is the front caliber obviously, so you want to torque that to 37 pound-feet, just an FYI. Alright, so the new caliber is in, and I bled it. Just use my, just a little, I don't know what brand this is, Mighty Vac bleeder kit here. Pretty much got a full tank of that, of fluid through it. Get all the air bubbles out, fresh fluid. Looks good, no leaking. Push the pedal, felt pretty good. So let's go ahead and get one of the wheels on. So here's my 1/2-inch digital torque wrench. So we'll use this to set it to 100. Let's see here. I don't know if you can see it, but turn it on. You can set the torque amount that you want. This is in foot-pounds. All right, it took me a minute to find them, but we got the caps, so let's go ahead and put those on. Here we go, guys. First one done. Obviously the hardest because we replaced the caliber, but let's go ahead and gonna move on to the back here. Do the pads on that real quick, get the wheel on, and then we'll go around to the other side. And then it's nighttime right now, so we'll get a look at it when it's done in the garage. But then at the end of the video, I'll have some outside shots in the video. See how it looks. So doing the back pads here. Rotors look good, so no need to replace those. And then it's just gonna be these 2 bolts here, 15mm. So we got the rear caliber off. There's the old pads. The one on the outside was getting pretty thin. I'm gonna use just a C-clamp here. Get the piston pushed back in. We'll get the old pads out, the new pads in, put everything back together, and get this back wheel put on. All right, so we got the new rear pads in. Looking pretty good. Just scuffed up the rotors a little bit so the pad mates to it better. And time to put on the second wheel. All right, so got the final set of brake pads here on the driver's side front, all in. Thing I was worried about, because this is what happened to my other caliper, is this bleeder screw. I didn't want to strip this one. And what I noticed, didn't really realize with the other one, but there was this rubber piece. Let's see here. This rubber piece went underneath the cap, and so it sat like right underneath here. And I think what was happening, because I don't think that these pads have been changed in probably 15 plus years, and I don't think these calipers have been bled probably in the same amount of time, but I think water and stuff was like getting caught in this little rubber washer bushing and seeping in there and kind of corroding, the top part of the screw. So lots of PB blaster, kind of banged on it lightly with a hammer, and finally just used my impact. Just kind of hit it a couple times real quick, and it finally started to budge. So I was able to get it open, so I was able to bleed the brake. So I'm not putting that back on, because I think the new caliper that I got did not have this piece. I'm thinking that, water gets there, it'll dry quicker, evaporate, whereas this kind of contains it, keeps it in there, so flip that out. All right, guys, it is all done. There's a lot of work trying to get all the brakes done. I mean, usually brake work's pretty quick, but dealing with the new caliper on the passenger front, and then just working on that bleeder screw on the driver's side here. Took a little while, but anyway, all the wheels are on, brakes are done. Haven't driven it yet. It's kind of wet outside, but probably gonna take it out tomorrow, and then at the end of this video, have some daylight shots so you guys can see how they look in the day. But definitely looks really good, I think. The wheels really make it pop. They just looked faded before. Now they look right out of the factory. Do a zoom out shot for you here. All right, guys, here is the finished product. Put all the pads in, just took it out to bed the new pads. Just did a couple medium stops and a few hard stops, let it cool off. But it's driving really nice, brakes feel really good, and the wheels are looking awesome. Just do a little walk around here for you. Here's what they look like in the shade. Go back over to the sun. I love about these wheels is the different color of blues. You can get like a little hint of purple sometimes when the sun hits it. The different lighting kind of changes it. It's really cool. So overall, I think they turned out really nice. It really helps the look of the car. Kind of makes it look almost brand new again. That was kind of the one thing that was really bugging me. Paint's in great shape. You know, interior's looking good now ever since I did the seats. That was the original leather on the car was kind of beat up just from the sun and whatnot, but it's looking really good now. Sorry, I'm trying to use my son's Osmo here. Keep pushing the wrong direction. Yeah, thanks for watching the video. I think it turned out really good, and again, it was Midwest Tire, Wheel and Tire, Midwest Wheel and Tire in Auburn Hills, Michigan. And I will leave all the information in the description below. You can contact Mike if you want to have your wheels done. And he recommends that if you guys are going to ship the wheels, he'll tell you, but obviously have the tires unmounted and save a lot of weight on shipping and stuff. But if you're not too far away, I would recommend driving them, dropping them off to him, and then you can pick them up, save a lot of money. I actually left my tires on because I drove them up there, so he was able to unmount them, send them off to his guy to get restored, and then when he got them back, he obviously remounted and balanced the tires for me, so that worked out nice for me. They did a really nice job, didn't scuff anything up. Alright, thanks for watching.